Hello everybody, my name is Adam and welcome back to another video. Today is the 9th of December 2019 and we are looking at World of Tanks, specifically the Holiday Ops 2020 which has just been announced. So let's get into what we can be looking forward to for this year's holiday season event. The event will be starting on December 13th, which is this Friday, and I'm really excited to see what we have in store this year. Let's get going. First of all, Father Christmas, ho 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 commanders. Very good. He's just saying there's loads of gifts, and as per usual, we are going to be having a special looking garage. And that looks like the little toy there was a KV2 looking machine that had 3 guns on it, did it? Yep, there it is. 3 guns on what looks like a KV2. Very interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens with that, if that's ever going to be a real tank. Very interesting. So there is a lot going on this year. So let's just get into the decorations. Decorations have been part of the game, I think, for 3 years now at Christmas time. And each time you open up boxes, you find decorations from tier 1 to tier 5, and they will increase the Christmas spirit or the festive level of your environment. So when we log into the garage on the 13th of December for the first time, we'll be getting three rewards to begin with. First will be 3 small boxes upon login. These will include a number of decorations that will get you started with your festive atmosphere. The second is a tier 2 French premium light tank, the AMR35, with a 100% crew and garage slot. Now, I've not been able to find much details on the AMR35, but from what I've seen, it's actually an unreleased vehicle, so I think this will be the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this might be the first time that this is available to players, which is fantastic. So definitely log in just so you can get your hands on that, and if it turns out to be bad, then on the bright side you get some 100% crew which you can retrain if you really want to, and a free garage slot. And on top of that we get a charge, which is a special event item which we'll get into in a little bit. One key difference is that you can now get large decorations in the decoration box, and you can also craft them using the large Holidron Decorider. I hope I'm saying that right. Just as before, the large Holidron Decorider will allow you to break up duplicates of decorations that you've got and then craft them into new decorations so you can complete your correct collection. The key difference with the large decorations, though, is very exciting. Each large decoration will be a flat 2.5% more credits in random battles. And this bonus will become active as soon as the large decoration is placed into its slot and appears essentially in your garage, which is fantastic. So if you collect all 4 of these large decorations, you are guaranteed an additional 10% more credits in all of your random battles. And something that Wargaming are going with this year is we have Snow Maidens that are helping us out with the Holiday Ops 2020, which is interesting. But the reason they're so interesting is because we can actually get them in our garage as crew members. Before finding out exactly how to get them though, let's get into how decorating works and specifically how to upgrade the festive atmosphere. By decorating different parts of your garage, you will be able to increase your festive atmosphere, and the festive atmosphere comes in levels from 1 all the way up to 10. And for each level that you increase, you will get a number of rewards for it. So obviously to begin with, you start at level 1 and you are rewarded with the French tier 2 light tank, 3 small boxes, and the anti-duplicator charge, which again we're going to go into a little later. So, what else do you get? Moving up to level 2, we get a medal, some personal reserves, which are always great to have, and an additional anti-duplicator. Level 3, we get some more personal reserves, 20 universal blueprints, and 60 national blueprints for Poland. This is the exciting bit in my mind. Getting 60 national blueprints means we are going to be able to very quickly, maybe even skip past some low-tier tanks by creating blueprints. I think this is potentially the first time we've been able to get so many national blueprints all in one go. So this is really exciting to me. Tier 4, we get our first Snow Maiden. The Snow Maidens are female crew members, so assuming they are like all the rest of the female crew members, they will start with a Sisters in Arms 0 skill, plus the first skill, which you can choose for 100% trained. On top of that, for Tier 4, we'll get some more personal reserves for credit, some more universal blueprints, 60 national blueprints for Czechoslovakia, and another anti-duplicator charge. In Tier 5 we start to get interesting though, because as well as the extra personal reserves, the China national blueprints, and the anti-duplicator charge, we also are now getting the Holiday Ops vehicle slot for Tier 5. Essentially for every tier, Tier 5 up to Tier 10, we'll be getting additional Holiday Ops vehicle slots, and we'll explain what those do in a second. Tier 6 we get another medal, some more personal reserves, Japanese national blueprints this time, and another Snow Maiden. Tier 7 is 60 Swedish blueprints, more personal reserves, 2 anti-duplicator charges, and of course the vehicle ops. Tier 8 we get our third Snow Maiden, lots more personal reserves, lots more blueprints including both Italy and, or Italian I should say, and French national blueprints, some more duplicator charges, and the Tier 8 Holiday Ops vehicle slot. Tier 9, again, lots more personal reserves, lots more blueprints, including the UK or British national blueprints and the German national blueprints, as well as some training guides for all nations, and even more anti-duplicator slots. And then finally for Tier 10, we are getting a huge amount of rewards for this. We're getting a number of small boxes, we get some more personal training manuals, we get the Slayed It class medal. Again, I'm not really sure who really cares for the medals, but we also get a general snow badge, which I believe you can show off next to your name in games. You'll get your final 4th Snow Maiden, 100 universal blueprints, 60 national blueprints for the USA or America, 60 national blueprints for Russia, and a special Holiday Ops style, which I presume is for a certain tank or a number of tanks. We also get a number of anti-duplicator charges and of course the Tier 10 Holiday Ops vehicle slot. So let's look at what these Holiday Ops vehicles actually do and the bonuses that it gives you. So assuming you can get to level 10 Festive Atmosphere, you'll be unlocking 6 slots. For 6 different vehicles, 1 Tier 5, 1 Tier 6, 1 Tier 7, 1 Tier 8, 1 Tier 9 and 1 Tier 10 slot. These slots you can put in any vehicle that is either a rewards vehicle or a researchable vehicle, not a premium vehicle. And depending on what type of vehicle you put in each slot, you will get bonuses to the experience that you earn in those vehicles when you play games. Now this is where it's a little disappointing if we take a look. For light tanks, we will get an additional 200% to free experience. Tank destroyers and artillery will get plus 100% to crew experience, whereas heavy tanks and medium tanks get plus 50% to combat experience. Now for me, this is a bit disappointing because clearly I think that it is best to put your heavy tanks and your medium tanks in here, at least for tiers 5 up to tiers 9, so that you can grind through those tanks faster because you want that base combat experience. At tier 10, it maybe makes sense to put your tank destroyers or your artillery because you'll be able to train your crews faster, and it just doesn't really make sense to put light tanks in any of these slots because plus 200% free experience just... I mean, unless you really need to collect free experience, I just don't think that's worth it when you can get plus 50% combat experience, which you can use straight away. But moving right on, let's talk about the amazing credit bonuses that we'll get. And this is where things get a little complex, but also it's kind of interesting. This is what really is going to make collecting all of these crates and the festive decorations very fun. There are 4 different categories to the decorations. There is Christmas, Magic New Year, and Lunar New Year. And they've given us a nice little calculator to show how all of these work. So let's quickly reset all of these to 0 and see what kind of bonuses we get. As you can see, these class as the large decorations that you can find. Each of these is a fixed 2.5%, so if you can collect all 4 of these, that is an additional 10% credits that you can be earning. These are totally independent of the rewards and the festive atmosphere that you can find up here. So for each of these collections, if you can collect a certain percentage of all of the decorations, then you can get a bonus to your credits. And as you can see from this slider, you don't have to get the full collection to get the maximum credit boost per collection. So it looks like 72 in each category is the number that you should be aiming for. And this, if you could just collect them by itself, will give you 8%. This is where the festive atmosphere comes in. By decorating your garage, you can give a multiplier to this percentage. So at level 1, as we increase this slowly, the first increase is at level 4. It doubles to 16. Level 5 is the same. Level 6 is the same. Level 7 goes up again to 24%. Level 8, level 9 is a boost again, and then level 10 will take you up to the maximum, which is 40. So if you can complete this, get to level 10 festive atmosphere, complete all of the collections, and get all 4 large decorations, you can get a plus 50% credit in all of the games that you play in your random battles. What more could you want? So next up, and we have so much left to go, we've got past the complex bit, let's talk about some of the rewards that we can find and how we can get there. So, as per usual, we have some amazing new skins for our tier 10 tanks, and I'm really excited to see this. So this is, we've got a Christmas decoration here for the, I want to say FV4005, I think that is. We have a mouse decoration for Magic New Year, which just looks like wrapping paper with oranges all over it. I honestly love it, that's amazing. The Russian tank destroyer, of which I cannot remember the name of, but it's one of my favourite tank destroyers. I think it's kind of underrated quite a bit, but I really like this. This is a fun New Year red wrapping paper cover, which is great, and a Lunar New Year for your Type 5 heavy, I think that is, which of course is the Japanese heavy tank. And that is a really nice skin as well. I like the flowers on the trees. So I'm excited to try and acquire all of these. So how do you get these styles? Well, you can get these styles by collecting the full collection of the decorations for each class. If you can collect the decorations for all 4 different classes, the Christmas, Magic New Year, and Lunar New Year, then you can bag all 4 of these special Christmas skins, which is fantastic. I'm very excited about that. As I mentioned before, the decorations come in levels 1 to level 5, and they range in rarity. But by breaking down your duplicate decorations, you can use the machine in your garage to hopefully build some more of those rare decorations and fill out your festive atmosphere. Next up, how do we earn these decorations? Well, there is 4 different ways, apparently. Firstly, you can complete a number of missions, which we'll get to just down here. Second up, you can craft them in the large Holidron Decorider, which I've just mentioned above. Thirdly, you can receive them as gifts from the Snow Maidens once per day. And finally, you can purchase large gift boxes. These large gift boxes we don't have many details on just yet, but I'm expecting that will be announced slightly later this week, and I will very likely be making another video on that once we have those details. Completing the missions. Let's see what missions we have. We have 11 different missions for you to complete. New Year Bustle 8 all the way to 10 are missions that you can complete only twice per week, and these range in difficulty, but most of these are things that you can do over a number of battles. Apart from New Year Bustle number 11, which is just winning a battle and being the top in your team by experience earned. Might be a little tricky for some, but not too bad. The rest of these missions I think are fantastic. Most of them are very achievable with some high tier tanks, and of course the missions numbers 1 to 7 are all completable once per day. So every day you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different crates. Or boxes, I should say. So if you're willing to play every day that this special is running, which is, I believe, for 32 days, times that by the 16 crates that you can get daily, you can earn yourself 512 boxes, which will each contain up to 3 decorations. So hopefully that should be enough to get yourself up to Festive level 10. And on top of that, every fortnight you will be able to get an additional number of boxes from the slightly harder missions. Crafting decorations seemingly works exactly the same way as it did last year, and I think the year before. Essentially, you can break your duplicates down into shards and then spend those shards on generating new decorations. As you can see though, the user interface has changed slightly, and there are 2 new features that are worth paying attention to. Firstly, let's talk about the charges that we can find from leveling up our Festive Atmosphere. The charges are limited in use, but you can find they get used right here. This will tell you how many charges you have left, and by turning it on, you will make sure that you are not creating a duplicate item. But remember, these charges are finite. Once you get up to tier 10 Festive Atmosphere, you're not going to be able to get any more of these charges. So I would advise to only use them once you're ready to try and get that final item in each of the sets, or final few items. The next new feature is the large decoration. Here you can see this allows you to select whether a standard or large decoration is going to be created. This is great because you can guarantee when a large decoration is going to be created. These large decorations will start very cheap. As you collect the large decorations, the new ones will cost more and more. Luckily, you can't create duplicates of these large decorations, so if you already have 3 of them, you can safely use this machine to create your 4th decoration. It's not going to create a duplicate. Next up is getting decorations from the Snow Maidens. In your garage, you'll be able to see the Snow Maidens somewhere in there, and one of them will give you a free random decoration plus some 5 times missions for that day. But you remember, you can only click on one of them every day, and they will give you a decoration from their respective collections. The final thing to note about getting decorations is about the gift boxes, and with these large boxes, as per usual, we'll be able to get gold, premium time, rare vehicles, and 3D styles. Next up is something I'm very excited about. Once we reach Festive Atmosphere level 10, we can start using shards to craft the missing items from our collections and get all 8 styles as reward from last year's Holiday Ops. But we only have until January 13th to do this. But this is very exciting. There are 8 skins all in all that we can collect, and each of them are available to us to try and collect once we have completed Festive Atmosphere level 10. And finally, the final announcement that they have made is that the event is going to be extended from January 14th all the way through to February the 1st. So, if you have reached Festive Atmosphere level 5 or higher, the bonuses that you get to the Holiday Ops vehicle slots will be carried on until February the 1st. However, during this time, you will be able to change the tanks in each of the slots less often, only once per day for free, and any additional changes will cost you additional credits to do. From looking at their video, it looks like this is going to cost 10,000 credits, which is quite a lot, and honestly I'm not sure that that's really worth it. But I'm very happy to see that the festivities and the bonus credits are going to be carried over for all of January. So, to summarise, I personally am very excited for this year's Holiday Ops for a number of reasons. Firstly, the number of credits that we can get during this period is going to be astronomical. On top of that, we have the ability to get 4 female crew members, which, as I've mentioned, gets those pre-trained skills and perks. And from the Festive Atmosphere, we're going to be getting huge numbers of blueprints, both universal and national, which means certain low-tier tanks we will not need free experience to get through. We can just research the entire vehicles just from blueprints, which is fantastic. I'm very excited about this. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down, and let me know what you think of the Holiday Ops 2020 in the comments below. And finally, make sure to subscribe to catch the next video on the World of Tanks Holiday Ops 2020 that will be coming hopefully later this week. I can guarantee you it will be very exciting. Until next time, see you later.